What foods fall under cottage food law? Welcome to Cottage Food Laws. This is YouTube's premier food entrepreneur channel for the homemade food entrepreneur. This video, we're going to talk a little bit about specifically what foods fall under cottage food law, because there is a lot of misconceptions as to what you can and you cannot make under cottage food laws throughout the U.S. Now, a real quick story as to what it is. Cottage food laws are laws that are set up by state, and they allow you to prepare food and sell it from home. But there are regulations, there are a lot of rules as far as what you could sell, how to label your product, how to package it, and so on. So some of the questions that we have on our other channel, actually here on YouTube, our Marketing Food Online channel. If you want to subscribe to that, by the way, check the link down below this video. We have several channels dedicated to food entrepreneurship, including food trucks as well. But we wanted to get into this specific question because this is one that we had gotten on our other channel. And now that we started our brand new cottage food channel here, we want to get into exactly what it is. So more specifically, even though it varies by state, you cannot make potentially hazardous food products as they are known. These are items that are either temperature or time sensitive. They cannot be kept at a certain temperature, or they have to be kept at a certain time. Otherwise, they would spoil or go bad, or they could be potentially dangerous for someone to eat. So those particular items, which for an example would be something like, hamburgers or tacos or pizzas, these types of products are normally not ever allowed to be sold through a cottage food law in any state, actually. So what foods fall under cottage food law? So they would be baked goods. These would be chocolate covered items. They would be candies such as brittles or toffees. You could have dried pastas, spices, dry baking mixes, even dried fruits. In some states, you're allowed to even sell coffees. You can sell herb blends. Basically anything that can be packaged, put into a product, and put on a table at a farmer's market without having to have a time sensitivity or temperature sensitivity to them. So let me give you a little more examples as far as what you could make under your cottage food law and what would fall under that. Things like bagels and biscuits, cakes, muffins, and sweetbreads. Candies would be things like truffles, cotton candy, fudge, chocolates, buttercream frostings. In some states, actually some states may not allow you to do that, only because some buttercreams actually end up having to be refrigerated or kept at a certain temperature. Things such as honey, nut butters, and vinegars. If you're into ketchups and mustards or condiments, those are something that are allowed. Also other things like cereals or herb blends, as I had mentioned before, or teas, spices, pasta, dried fruits, carbonated beverages in some states will actually allow you to do that, because again, that is not something that's necessarily time or temperature sensitive. Believe it or not, even in some states under cottage food law, pet food. Certain pet foods are allowed, items that of course don't have raw meats or proteins in them that have to be refrigerated. Caramel corn, nuts and seeds, granolas, popcorns, chocolate covered pretzels, crackers, kettle corn. These are considered food items under cottage food in most states that would basically fall under the cottage food law and allow you to make them. Now, when you want to get into labeling, check out the next video we're going to post. We're going to talk a little bit more about specific labeling guidelines, even though every state is different. And of course, if this is your first video here on cottage foods laws, definitely want to subscribe. We're going to fill this channel with a ton of great resources for the homemade food entrepreneur. So if this was helpful and you had more questions about what does fall under cottage food laws, let us know down below, and we will definitely get to a video on that.